This is my Roland SPD One Kick that I've owned for around 2 years, and in this video I'm going to show you some of the things I like about it, what I don't like about it, and even solve what I believe to be one of its biggest problems. So what is the SPD-1? Well, it's a bit like a mini version of a Roland SPD-S or SX Pro, and instead of all the screen and dials and stuff, you actually just got these 4 knobs which are going to change all of the parameters that you could wish to change on the device. You've got 22 built-in sounds, and you've got space for 1 custom preset of your own, so you can plug this in to your computer via USB and download your own sound up to 5 seconds in length. Now you may be thinking, how are there 22 sounds when I'm only seeing 12? Well, 1 to 11 have an instrument variation. If it's, let's say, percussion kick, there would be 2 versions of that sound. Or here where it says cowbell and clave, you hit the instrument variation button and that's going to give you one or the other. And then you've also got your second wheel, which is tuning. You've got your effects, reverb and distortion, and then just a volume knob on the end. You can power the SPD-1 from either a 9-volt Boss PSA adapter, or you can use 4 AA batteries as well by opening up this panel on the back here, which I don't think I can do with one hand. You can also mount the SPD-1 to a stand using this little bracket, which of course comes along with the device, and that just neatly fits on the back there using 2 small wing nuts, one of which on mine is missing. You may be wondering why there's a bit of furry Velcro on the bottom of mine. Well, if you don't put that on, it tends to slide across the floor in my experience. So what I do is carry a very small drum mat, and then I attach this with Velcro on that to the drum mat, and it just stops it sliding around. Now, I think Roland have made a few strange design choices when it comes to the SPD-1. The first and probably most pressing is that you can't actually attach a bass drum pedal to it. And I don't really know why they've done that. I mean, they do make other triggers, of course, which are predominantly kick triggers, and they even make the KT9 and KT10, which are like standalone kick triggers, but they both require a brain to create any sound. They don't have any built-in sounds themselves, so they're a totally different product anyway, and to run them, you'd then need a brain, like from a electronic kit, to actually make a sound from them. But I do think I've come up with a solution. Let me show you what I mean. What I've done here is attach my Speed Cobra single pedal to a minor cowbell attachment that you'd put on a drum kit or a percussion setup. And then I've put the SPD-1 kick at a slightly ridiculous angle, and what it gives you is actually perfectly working bass drum pedal attachment with the SPD-1 kick. Now that would allow you to play far more intricate patterns than you could just with your foot alone. Ignore the socks as usual. But if I want those little double notes, they're quite hard to do with just the foot to get a good response if I try and demonstrate that, if you sort of mean. The only problem I am having with this setup is that the beater, you can see that, is just catching slightly on the actual mount. But what you could do is probably raise the beater up a little bit, or otherwise just cut the end of the beater off if it's one that you're not too worried about. The second slightly odd choice is that they've given the SPD-1 kick a headphone socket, and on the website it's like, you can custom make the sounds on the way to the gig on the train, but the issue is you can't save any sounds, because as soon as you adjust the parameters for one, then you've automatically messed them up for the other. So I don't know who these people are sitting on the train or the bus, like messing about with it with their headphones in. I mean, it just seems ridiculous. So basically you've got 2 inputs that do exactly the same thing as far as I can work out. You've got an output mono and a headphone output. Is that right? Am I making that up? So whichever one you plug in, it's going to do the same thing. Could they not have maybe given it like a trigger in, and then you could attach something like a KT10 and then have a, I don't know, would that defeat the purpose? Just an idea, maybe an extra pad, you know, anything really. I just thought a headphone socket with no ability to save what you've actually done is a slightly strange choice. What do you think? So the big question is, after 2 years of ownership and around 100 gigs, and what I didn't tell you as well is that I bought this used, not brand new, so it's actually older than that. Is it still working as it should? And the answer is a resounding yes, it is. The only issue I've had with it is that the pad has started to go a little bit crooked, as you can see. Could Roland have maybe done something slightly different? Could they have recessed the pad a little bit into the metal construction of the frame? That would stop it from moving around. Now, if you'd like to see some of the uses that I have for my SPD One Kick and how I use it in my own drumming and in my own gigging life, then make sure you watch this video, and that'll talk all about my mini restaurant setup that I use with the SPD SX Pro. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye bye for now.